In this video, we'll introduce the Indicator Data tab, which is really the fuel tank of the RPS tool. This tab contains a table of RPS indicator values for every watershed unit in the state. Most statewide tools will have one tab that is named HUC12_data. The standard data table for the 2018 tool series contains values per HUC12 for 302 indicators, and some contain even more because of state-specific additions. These are local, not cumulative, values measured within the single HUC12 and not including any upstream HUC12s. Tools with multiple watershed scales like this one will have a data tab for each watershed scale. For example, the HUC8_data tab contains a second data table for all HUC8 watersheds partially or fully within the state. This data table can power all of the same types of screenings and products available at the HUC12 scale. The data table is organized with watershed units, usually HUCs, as rows, and the indicators as columns. Indicators in the table are grouped by major category and color-coded. All base indicators are shown first and shaded dark gray, then ecological indicators in green, stressor indicators in red, and social indicators in blue. You'll notice that some of the base indicators' values are words, not numbers. They provide additional reference information, such as for identifying subsets of interest, and are not used in any calculations. All the other indicator categories have numeric values. You may notice that some cells for an indicator are blank. This means that data are not available for that watershed or that the indicator is not applicable. The indicator data table format and coding are crucial for proper tool function, so it's best not to change or rearrange anything in the table. Please never delete any rows from the table. Doing so will cause errors in all future screening results. Although you should never delete rows from the indicator data table, you may very carefully overwrite values with updated or corrected data if necessary. By changing an indicator's value for some or all of the HUCs, the new values will be used throughout the tool from then on. If you do overwrite any data, also note what you changed in the indicator name and in the description under the Indicator Info tab. Take particular care to be sure that the source data set's total number of HUCs and the order they are in is identical to the total and order in the tool before overwriting values. This is easy. Select each column of HUC IDs and be sure that the total in the lower right is the same number. Then check the order by creating an Excel formula to subtract column B from column A in every row. If the IDs match, it will be all zeros in column C. But really, don't mess with the data table in the tool. If you want to sort, rearrange, filter, or just explore the data table freely without worrying about corrupting the tool, you can copy the table into a new Excel file and then play with the data to your heart's content. You can also use the Explore Indicator Data button within the tool to review indicator summary statistics, histograms, ecoregional variation, and correlations. Learn more about using this function in the training video titled Exploring Indicator Data Properties.